Imagine an NBA MVP wanting to play for your squad, not because you asked or begged him, but because of his own desire. For years, you and him form a plan and do anything necessary for him to realize his dream. Then suddenly, everything falls apart.
But we're going to start our show with breaking news. Joel Embiid has committed to play for Team USA in the 2024 Olympics.
Joel Embiid spent years wanting to wear the colors of France for international tournaments. Then one day, he shocked the entire nation by pledging his allegiance to the United States. What happened? When did this unfold? And how did Joel Embiid deceive an entire country? Embiid was born in Yaoundé, the capital city of Cameroon in the continent of Africa. Growing up, Embiid's father, Thomas, who played handball professionally, wanted Embiid to focus on school and play volleyball rather than other sports because it was low contact.
When I was 16, I was actually supposed to go to France to be a professional volleyball player.
But that changed when he was spotted at a Basketball Without Borders camp hosted by NBA player Luc Mbah a Moute. And 2 months after that camp, Mbah a Moute, along with other scouts, had convinced Embiid and his father to come to the United States to play high school basketball at Mount Verde Academy in Florida. Embiid, who started playing basketball for the first time at age 15, moved to the US knowing only French and zero English at the age of 16, and found himself to be the number 6 ranked player in high school basketball in the country, and committed to playing college ball at the University of Kansas. After 1 year at Kansas, Embiid played well enough to be selected 3rd overall in the 2014 NBA draft. But before the start of his rookie year, Embiid was watching the 2014 FIBA World Cup and expressed through a series of tweets who he was cheering for. The day that France lost their semifinal game against Serbia, he tweeted, "So I don't tweet for France today, and they lose. Shake my head." But interestingly, after France had defeated Croatia in the round of 16 games, Nicolas Batum, who had scored 14 points for the French in that game, replied to one of Embiid's tweets saying, "Come play with us," to which Embiid replied, "I'm not French." But after he was drafted, he ended up missing his entire rookie year in 2015 with a foot injury, while also dealing with the death of his younger brother back in Cameroon, an event that caused him to question retirement before stepping on an NBA court. He also went on to miss the 2016 season, dealing with setbacks with the same foot injury, and in the 2017 season, he made his career debut, but his season was cut short due to needing season-ending surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his left knee. In the 2018 season, Embiid played over 60 games for the first time in his career, while becoming one of the best centers in the league. He became an All-Star and made second-team All-NBA, and was second in Defensive Player of the Year votes. The player who took home the trophy was Frenchman Rudy Gobert. This was the same year where Embiid told French newspaper L'Équipe his choices for playing for an international team at the time was between Cameroon, France, and the United States. But in that same newspaper, he talked about the great number of financial and governing issues that complicated playing for his home country of Cameroon. Embiid doesn't really have any French heritage, but he says parts of his family are French and live in France, while his only ties to the US was just living and working there. But Embiid's desire to play for France was met with a bit of pushback, specifically from notable players in the NBA who are also playing for the French national team. Evan Fournier, in a series of tweets, said, "Let's stop with the articles on Joel. It's getting ridiculous. Playing for a country you have no ties with is disturbing. It's nothing against Joel at all. It bothers me when the other selections do it. Where is the respect for others who make sacrifices every summer for the team?" Nick Batum also said, "I am against naturalized people, but here we are perhaps talking about the best player in his position. On the basketball level, you have to do it. Afterwards, on the ethical side, there is a problem." And Tony Parker, the 4-time champion and known as the greatest French player in NBA history, said, "It lacks a bit of authenticity when you do stuff like that. In the selection, we should play with players from the country who grew up there." Regardless of what others said, from that time on, Embiid reportedly was committed only to playing for France. Fast forward to the end of the 2021 NBA season, where Embiid was having the best season of his career so far, averaging 28.5 points per game and 10.6 rebounds per game. He finished as the runner-up for the MVP trophy that season. But this was also the same year where RCM Sports reports that Embiid promised in a letter sent to France's president Emmanuel Macron that he wanted to represent the country in international tournaments and asked for help to be granted a French citizenship. The letter also reads, "After discussions with the French Basketball Federation, my choice has now been made. I would like to take the steps to obtain French naturalization and thus be eligible for selection with the Blues. I, therefore, do not wish to play for any other national team. It would be an immense honor for me to join this French team to participate in the next major international competitions. I therefore ask for your support in these initiatives." Embiid fueled this desire by tweeting, "Come on Blues," after France had defeated Team USA in the preliminary round at the 2020 Olympic Summer Games. France had snapped the US's 25 Olympic game win streak and gave the team their first Olympic loss in almost 2 decades. Throughout the 2022 NBA season, former NBA champion and general manager of the French men's team, Boris Diaw, along with the president of French Basketball Federation, Jean-Pierre Citat, told reporters that Embiid told them he wanted to play for France, saying, "Joel came to us and said he wanted to play international basketball, and he said he wanted to play for France and wanted to win with France, so we listened to him." On 2 separate occasions, Embiid reportedly met with Diaw and Citat in Orlando, Florida and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to express their interest in a partnership. Embiid's spokesman has came out and said that Diaw and Citat asked him to play for the country at the Olympics. While the two say they didn't seek him out, they were acting on interest he showed to play for the team. Rudy Gobert was also open to having Embiid play for the Blues, telling The Athletic, "The most important thing is if his heart tells him to be a part of Team France, as long as he understands that the French national team is different than the NBA. We have rules, we have things we do. You are either all in or you're not. You can't just show up." Despite his openness to the pairing, Gobert said he wouldn't be doing any personal recruitment to Embiid, but his French teammate, Evan Fournier, had a change of heart and was doing some of his own recruitment at the time. Team USA were interested in Embiid at this point, but they had not done any formal recruitment at this time. Nonetheless, before Embiid could play for the country, he needed to become a citizen, but he didn't have French parents or did not live in France long enough to acquire citizenship. So according to Citat, Embiid asked for a passport. A spokesman for Embiid has denied these claims, saying Embiid did not ask for a passport. It was something the French did on their own. Citat, with the help of the French government, got to work to get a passport for Embiid and his son, thinking the only reason he was doing this was to help the national team win medals at competitions. In May of 2022, Citat set up a meeting between Embiid and French diplomat Philippe Etienne at Washington, D.C. for a formal interview. Before gaining citizenship, applicants must demonstrate why they should gain citizenship, whether through an exceptional or unique service to France. For Embiid, he was going to provide this through his basketball play. And on July 5th, 2022, in the official journal of the French Republic, it was stated that Joel Embiid was officially a holder of a French passport, a foreigner whose naturalization is of exceptional interest. Throughout the process of getting his passport, the French team had intentions of Embiid playing in the European Championship, also known as Eurobasket, an international basketball competition overseen by FIBA Europe, with players like Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Luka Doncic expected to play. France wanted Embiid to be a part of the action. But before the tournament, during the NBA season, Embiid sustained a torn ligament in his thumb that required surgery, and therefore he was not able to join the team for the tournament in time. Embiid not playing in this tournament was killer for the French, because had he played in the tournament, he would be officially tied to France as his international team and wouldn't be able to switch to another team at any time. While France earned a silver medal at the tournament on September 18th, 2022, Embiid was at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia swearing an oath of citizenship to the United States. Despite Embiid seeking an American citizenship, he reportedly was still verbally committed to France by telling Boris Diaw, "Yes, I still want to play for France." Into the 2023 NBA season, former NBA player and acting managing director of Team USA Basketball, Grant Hill, started to formally reach out to Embiid, meeting with him several times and even going to Philadelphia to meet up with him at his home. And in one of those meetings, Hill became confident that Embiid wasn't 100% sold on playing for the French team. An article from The Athletic says Hill wasn't just confident Embiid wasn't sold on playing for France, he had confidence that Embiid might play for Team USA for the Olympics next year. The only thing Hill was 100% certain of was that Embiid would not be playing for the US or France at the upcoming 2023 FIBA World Cup, because this was the same summer he was getting married to his girlfriend. After a terrible 18th place finish at the World Cup, Citat and the French team had no more time for waiting. On a radio station, he revealed that the deadline for Embiid to officially commit to the French team was October 10th, just 1 month after the final of the World Cup, which saw Germany take home the trophy. And Embiid reportedly did not like the pressure that Citat had applied. 5 days before the French deadline, on October 5th, Embiid had announced his decision. In a face-to-face meeting with Grant Hill, he had officially committed to playing for Team USA for the 2024 Summer Olympic Games. On social media, he stated his reasonings were wanting to play with his brothers in the league, the fans in America who had supported him since his arrival in the country, and lastly, his son Arthur, who was born in the US. Team USA had swooped in and snatched Embiid from the competition, while the French were not happy as they found out about Embiid's decision like everyone else. He didn't give them a notice or a warning. Ciutat says, Team USA with him, who can you beat? Come on, nobody. This is an easy way for him to get an Olympic medal. Moments after Embiid's announcement broke, Evan Fournier tweeted "Pride" along with this gif on Twitter. Safe to say that he wasn't thrilled about the news. Despite the joy Embiid's choice brought to Team USA, his decision did receive mixed reactions. Some people, like the French players in 2018, believe Embiid should play for his actual home country and not with the US.
Well, Cameroon didn't qualify for the Olympics, so why doesn't Joel Embiid and Pascal Siakam try to qualify there?
While others gladly welcome Embiid to the squad, as it filled in the biggest hole in Team USA's roster, the center position. With the possibility of facing numerous other countries that could dominate the rebounding area, Embiid helps to fill in that hole while also being an excellent offensive weapon. As France's head coach Vincent Collier said, the center was Team USA's weakest position in the last Olympics and the last 2 World Cups. With Embiid, for sure it changes everything. Now they have no weakness. Colette even revealed that he had intentions of playing Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid, and rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama all as starters. A front court of all 7-footers capable of spreading the floor on offense with Embiid and Wemby's great shooting, and together be a wall on the defensive end, with Rudy Gobert assigned just to protect the rim, as there is no defensive 3 seconds in international play. Colette says to have them together on the court would have been very special. Embiid's spokesperson has come out and said Joel was clear that he would make a decision when he was ready, and they chose to secure his citizenship in anticipation. Joel loves all 3 countries he calls home and will continue to find ways to support all of them. The French have openly stated that they regret even wasting effort and energy trying to recruit Embiid to play for the country. Ciutat says, we helped him get French citizenship upon his request. I'm just sorry that we have spent so much time and energy on a file that should never have been opened. Frederick Weiss, this guy getting dunked on, was a former player for the French team, and he was outraged at Embiid's decision, saying, I hate him for the things he did. I think he doesn't have any respect for France, and he jokingly stated, I would take away from him the French nationality and I would ban him from entering France. With the 2024 Summer Olympic Games taking place in Paris, Embiid is not expected to receive a warm welcome to the country as he was selected to play for Team USA. And after playing through numerous injuries throughout the 2024 playoffs, Embiid will no doubt have his work cut out for him in the tournament, especially with him being enemy number 1 in the country. The US are still favored to win the tournament, but it won't be easy by any means.